Mick and Tricia Woodhead, legends of the faith. I love you guys so much. And honestly, I wonder how many churches I've preached at in the last, 40 odd years of being a Christian. Definitely thousands. I wonder how many Christian leaders I've networked with, spent time with. Probably tens of thousands. It's very hard to think of a single church that's been a greater encouragement to me and the message than St. Thomas Crooks in Sheffield, or two leaders who've constantly encouraged me. Even this morning, I got a flipping text off Mick Woodhead. What a beautiful man. Just cheering me on and bringing precious words into my life. You're just amazing people, and I love you so much. And I know you're not really retiring. You're just moving on into the next season of fruitfulness before you see the Lord face to face. But I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. And I know we're going to journey together in the future, but thanks for this season. Thanks for being great leaders, for doing a good job, and for blessing so many others. Thanks for your belief in young men and women like me. No, not like me, but the ones who come behind me. You're brilliant. God bless Mick and Tricia. I hope you have a fantastic send-off. You deserve it. I hope you have a rest, and then you come back firing on all cylinders. Let's do this thing.
Hi, Mick and Tricia.
Hey, I just want to say a massive hi to you guys. First, I think a minor apology as well, because we were asked to do a video and I was thinking it was for the end of August, but then I heard that your last Sunday was the Sunday just gone, so apologies that we are slightly late, but are trusting that you're going to receive this now.
Anyway, we just wanted to send all our love to both of you, and just huge congratulations again for an incredible time of leading St. Thomas Crooks, and just again a huge thank you for both of us for everything that you mean to us and for all you've done for us in the past.
Yeah, absolutely, sincerely, just so grateful, particularly for having worked with you. Mick, I still, the most amusing level, Mick, Nicky often comments, whenever I walk around this church building here, I do walk around it like you walk around Crooks for all those years. I think it's that culture of excellence, that culture of everything being right in the building, on the team, not settling for anything less than the absolute best. And I guess that we're privileged as well of actually, you're only a very small part of your journey at Crooks, but actually we remember how it was. I remember when we used to kind of play, spot the student or spot the youth. That was what it was barren, wasn't it? It was barren, it was tough. All the vision, all the energy, all the momentum had gone into the city. And you, with the fantastic support, Tricia, 100% rebuilt it.
Absolutely, and just again, thank you so much. It just goes without saying what an incredible support you were when I was ill, when I had cancer back all those years ago, and just what an incredible support, and the prayer and the way you just dealt with everything, and you took any stress off Richard by just completely taking over. We will absolutely never forget that, and I will never forget the prayers you prayed with me, and yeah, just a huge thank you. You were a massive part of my healing journey.
And the picture I have at Mick, at least the picture I remember, which always stuck with us, was when someone had a picture of you, Mick. It was like leading us up a hillside, carrying like a lantern or a beacon, whatever, and everyone was following you over that hillside. And I absolutely believe that is what has happened. And there's no doubt that the leadership skills that you invested in us, that we picked up from watching you and being with you, are 100% so important. If I'm honest, they formed and fashioned me more than anyone else at a leader level today. So we're just hugely appreciative, and hopefully we'll see you at some point soon. That would be amazing.
Yeah, so well done again on everything, not just at STC. Keep calling it the wrong thing. It's STC now, isn't
it?
True. But just a massive well done, and huge blessings on everything that you've done and achieved, and not just with STC, but widely and globally and everything. Just huge blessings on you both for the years to come.
Absolutely.
And thank you again. Bless
you
both
soon.
So much.
Thank you.
Loads of love.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Mick and Trish. It's Matthew Porter here from the Belfry in York. I want to say a big thank you to you for all you've given in the life of St Thomas's in Sheffield, and also for all the support you've given me and many other leaders in the North. You've done such a fantastic job over the years, and recently at St Thomas's. Thank you, and we pray much blessing and God's goodness on you into the future. You guys are stars. We love you. Thank you for all you've done. God bless.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Mick and Tricia for their passion and their heart for young people. I think testimony from my time at STC has been, we moved here when I was 3 years old and 6'1", and I was told on good authority that there was probably only 2 other families here. But then since that point, and Mick and Tricia's leadership at the church, all throughout Kids Church after that, Youth Church, and now moving to Student Church, I've always had a large community of people my age, and that's so much down to Mick and Tricia's passion for and heart for to see young people in the church.
Yeah, and I'm also thankful for how much time and effort they've put into working with young people, Kids Church and Youth Church, and how much they value young people in the church.
I love that Mick and Tricia always interact with all the kids in the services. Like on Christmas Day, they always ask the kids what presents they've got, and then in communion they always get someone to hold the bread and the wine, and also Mick and Tricia always know all the people in the church and love all the people in the church, instead of just teaching them. They're sort of their friends as well.
I think my memory of Mick and Tricia is probably when Alan and I arrived. God told Mick and Tricia not to speak to us, and that was a really interesting and strange experience. But it was about challenging the church in terms of their welcome, and then later on down the line, Mick bringing the church together and just challenging them about who had spoken to us and who had welcomed us. And I think that was a real turning point. So Mick and Tricia, I want to say thank you that you really value welcome, that you want to challenge people to make sure that the back door is really small and that people join community and get connected. And thank you for listening to God, for being brave in doing those things when we arrived, because you were just aware that God had a bigger plan for what he was going to do with us and through us and our family in that time. So thank you so much for that.
And I just want to thank you, Mick and Tricia, for creating a church that has been a great place to raise our family. As Jacob said, he was 3 when he arrived, Max was 1, Faith, she wasn't even born. And our kids have been raised in the church under your leadership, and it is a great privilege to know that all of our kids have made professions of faith, they're following the Lord, and that is down to the hard work and diligence and passion that you've had for young people. So Mick and Tricia, we just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi Mick and Tricia, Paul and Ali Hatton here. We just want to say a big thank you for your ministry over the years. We particularly want to thank you for the insight and creativity which you showed in relation to the youth. Back when Rachel was a teenager, you allowed Rich and Louisa to meet in our house to start the youth work, and there were just 5 kids. And that legacy is just amazing now. And then you carried that on with your appointments. For James it was Dan Harris, and for Naomi it was Liam Brennan, and we really want to thank you for that. And we particularly want to thank you for your love and support with the journey with James. That runs concurrent with your ministry. It's been 19 years with James, and it was lovely that actually this Christmas he got a new hip and he's now pain-free, and his future just looks so very different. And we want to thank you for all that support, the times you visited him when he was in hospital, when he was tiny, and just that continuing prayer support. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you, Mick and Trish. And it's I think what I wanted to say is express our appreciation for your prayerfulness over the years, and we've really known that that you and Trish have been able to stand with us in the things that we've been doing, and also an appreciation for the way you've understood what we've been trying to do in our workplace. It's been thrilling along the way, and I know you've enjoyed sharing in that with us. So Thank you so much for that, and we wish you a really happy retirement which is full of lots of new things as well, and we just pray that God will open up all sorts of things as you step into this next stage in your lives. So all the very best and lots of love from us both. Bye.
Hello, I'm Heather, and I'd love to just share a couple of Thanksgivings, particularly for Tricia and Mick, not just as leaders but as friends. They were part of my life before STC, and they brought a lot of joy and hope to my family. So I'm very thankful for that. But I'm just remembering the very first day I came to STC, and Mick was starting a series of talks on cells and clusters. And honestly, I'd never heard anything like it in my life. I've been in church always. I never heard this kind of teaching on discipleship. And it was just fantastic. And it's been so wonderful to see lives transformed, particularly young lives. I was a youth leader for 15 years before I came here. And to see young lives transformed and young people become true disciples of Jesus through the work at this church has been fantastic. So thank you for keeping discipleship at the heart of everything that we do. But my biggest thank you has to be to Mick for leading my husband Edward to Christ. That is an eternal joy. So thank you, Mick and Tricia, for bringing the joy of the Lord into my family. Thank you so much.
Hi STC Church family, I'm Sophia and I'm going to give thanks to Mick and Tricia's teaching, support and encouragement. I've been part of STC since 2011, where I came here as a student and now I'm part of Young Adults Church. I love Mick and Tricia's passion for young people, which is probably why so many youth, students and young adults are part of this church. Thank you, Mick, for all your amazing teachings that inspired us all. And thank you also for you both for talking on weekends away and during the training year STC College that I was part of. Tricia was my huddle leader during the training year. One of my favourite memories was going round to her house for afternoon tea, where she served sandwiches, cakes and scones, and it was the perfect end to the training year. So thank you, Mick and Tricia, for leading our church.
Hello, Mick and Tricia. This is Casey Strine, and I'm here with Jack, or as Mick knows him better, the Bishop of YouTube. And we just want to say a thank you for everything that the two of you have done for STC over the years, especially the last now 7 years since we've been here. You are also welcoming to a bunch of stroppy Americans, and we want to say thank you so much for everything that happens in Kids Church that Jack and now Charlie have seen. Charlie being baptized, which was a great day. And personally, most of all, I just want to say thank you for the way in which you two have supported Amanda and I, and especially me as I went through the ordination process, and the way that you've just invited us to contribute to STC when we were new, and now when we're not so new in the church. We're so thankful for the way that you have made us feel welcome, and we're so thankful for all the things that you have led the church to accomplish in caring for people and bringing new people in over the last few years. We'll be praying for you that you move into this next stage for you with joy and with God's blessing and with a clear direction of the things that He wants you to do to build the kingdom in this next phase. And we look forward to seeing what that is, both at STC and beyond, and to enjoying that and celebrating that with you as you continue to do it. So thank you, Mick and Tricia, for everything that you've done, and God's blessing on you.
Bye.
Hi Mick and Tricia, it's Ruth Aidley. I've had the privilege of working with you both for the whole of your time on staff at STC. And in particular, of course, I've been Mick's PA for a large proportion of the last 19 years. I want to say a big thank you to both of you for all that you are and all that you have done. It's been an amazing adventure. Of course, the highlights that stick out have been the projects, both big and small. Now, in the early days, it was making complicated notice board displays. And the biggest thing really was helping the campus redevelopment get from design to reality. I'm still astounded by that. Along the way, we made some top-notch animated PowerPoints. And then, of course, there was the Grow project last year too. But also there's the everyday stuff. Planning Sundays, organising meetings and doing correspondence. We developed a really strong working relationship, I think, over the years. And life will certainly be different for me from now on without you around every day. And all that is on top of your role as spiritual leaders of this church and encouragers. Thank you both so much.
Hi Mick and Tricia, thank you so much for being great leaders. It's been a lovely experience being in the church with you. I hope you enjoy retirement very much. Good luck and lots of love. Good luck. Bye. Good luck.
Hey Mick and Tricia, we just wanted to say a massive thank you for everything that you've done and for your investment in us and in our communities that have led us so much closer to Jesus, and we know have led so many people to know the Lord in a powerful way. And honestly, it's been such a privilege to even be able to see what you've done with your ministry, and we're so thankful for you.
Yeah. I just want to add, we're so thankful for the way that your leadership has made the church such a welcoming place. And when I came to Sheffield as a student, coming into it, it felt like home, and it has been home for the last 5-6 years. And I think such a massive part of that is, your leadership and the work that you've put into it. So thank you.
Hiya. So we came to the church back in 2008, came to university here and have stayed on since. And one thing I'm really thankful for with the sort of culture that you, Mick and Tricia, have set in this church is, one, the thankfulness, learning to be thankful for everything, even in the hardest, darkest times, and how that really releases God to do his work and releases the Spirit. And also, I think mission, rather than it being a task, like a to-do list, actually it's about a way of life. It's like something you live and breathe, and that's something I've really learned through what you've taught here at STC, and we're just really, really thankful for that, and thankful for you investing in me as a staff member, and when I did form, and then through the students and families work as well.
We've been here for a while, so we've benefited from your leadership and the church's training, from being students to getting married and having kids all the way through, so thank you for that as well.
Thank you, Mick and Tricia, for leading our church.
Hi Mick and Tricia, I'm Ashley, this is Philomena, and Pat is at work but also wants to send on his thanks to you. So I just wanted to say how thankful I am to have been part of a church under your leadership. I started going in 2007 sporadically, hiding at the back, and over a few years it seeped in the challenge and how good it was to be at a church that actually expected you to do something. There was a point to going. I joined a cell just to do homeless outreach really, but then I did do form, and I learned about the point of community, I guess, and how wonderful that can be. And I moved to Fairvale and found a church family there who really have supported me. And the other wonderful thing it's done, so apart from helping me to make a commitment to my faith, when I met my husband in 2010, he said to me, to be honest, I'll probably never go to church. And now he's telling me all the time how much he misses going and misses the worship, and just think so much of that is down to your leadership and the really challenging way you've led, that I think us and so many other people really need and really needed to respond to. So we're thanking God for you and the way your leadership has really blessed us in our lives. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Becky and this is what I'm thankful for. So a couple of general things, just the culture that I noticed when I joined just about 8 years ago, culture of putting faith into action, not just being content to be sort of spectator Christians, and just lots and lots of times over the years meeting with God in worship when we gather together. Have just absolutely loved and appreciated that over the years. Also, part of the culture is gifts of the Spirit, and particularly having words for each other, including specific 3 that I can think of from Mick that have really sort of profoundly impacted me and been spot on, and from God. But yeah, from other people as well. And a culture of praying for healing regularly and consistently, and I think we do that well. And my favourite thing about that is that I was healed at STC, and I just did the maths, and it was a year ago tomorrow that I was healed in STC and through my church family. So yeah, always be thankful for that. And the final thing is I'm thankful for my family in Fairvale that are part of this church, and just having them to walk alongside in my faith, and people to put that into practice with, and for the faith and the generosity and the vision of Mick and Tricia and STC to invest in Fairvale and to have invested in it all these years and still continue to. Thankful for all these things very much. Thank you, Mick and Tricia, for leading our church.
Hey, we're Liam and Joe Bredden, and we'd love to give thanks for Mick and Tricia and the wonderful way in which they've led us during their time at STC. 2 things we'd really love to give thanks for are their vision and their passion to reach many, many young people.
Yeah, so I joined the church in 2011 as a young adult after drifting away as a student, and one of my memories is of one of my first cluster events happening at the rectory, perks of being in Matt and Ellie's cluster. And yeah, I'm just so thankful for STC, for its just full of young people, and that just played such a huge part in bringing me back to God.
Amen. I joined the church in 2013. Joe brought me along, took me out for a pint at the Ball beforehand, always a good way to get guys into church. And I was just struck again, like Joe said, the sheer number of young people at STC and the vibrancy of their faith led to me doing an Alpha course and coming to know Jesus as Lord and Saviour. So thankful for building a church full of so many young people.
Yeah, and another thing we'd like to thank Mick and Tricia for is just their investment in raising up leaders. When we first took on leading youth church, we felt in no way qualified, but we just always felt encouraged and supported by Mick and Tricia. So yeah, we're just a big thank you for that.
Amen. These have been the best years here at STC. They've been exciting, they've been crazy, they've been full on, but we thank God for Mick and Tricia and the way they've led the church during this time. It's an honour to serve on the team. We love being part of the family, and we're just so excited to see what God will do with us in the years to come. But when you look at where the church is right now, man, what a great base to build from, particularly of youth and kids and families, and that is in no small part down to Mick and Tricia's amazing leadership. So thank you, Mick and Tricia, for leading our church.
Hi, Mick and Tricia, it's Tim and Karen here. We've really loved being in the church with you, and are so thankful for what you've done for us and for everyone over well, it's nearly 20 years, isn't it?
I personally want to just say thank you, because it's been such a privilege for me to be on staff team and working with you, and I'm so thankful for the care and love that you've shown to me and to my family, especially when times were tough. which, as you know, they have been sometimes. And but I want to thank you both for your courage as you've led the church through such challenging times, when you've not stepped back from making tough decisions, and I think it must have been a lonely place at times. So I'm really thankful to you for that. And another thing is, I really have loved your illustrations, Mick. Those drawings at the front on the flip chart, and especially the one I remember most is that the boat with the mast and someone clinging on, and then just this row of people holding on to each other, and there are people in the sea who would be drowning, but everyone's holding on to save them, Lord. And I do remember that often, of how we can just hold on to someone to help save them. And I just thought, Charlie Mackesy, eat your heart out here.
Yes, Mick, and I'd like to say thank you for your teaching as well, because you've not been highfalutin or esoteric. You've kept it really down to earth, really practical, and that's been really helpful to me. But also, you've been really challenging, actually too challenging sometimes. So thank you, Mick and Tricia. Thank you. Enjoy the next stage of your life together.
Yeah, enjoy the adventure, and Tricia, you get your husband back.
Hello everyone, I'm Albert.
And I'm Hiroko.
And we are here to give thanks to Mick and Tricia for their support and guidance and prayers for the international ministry that we led at Crooks for many years. Some of you may know that Go Global started as a small cell group, but grew to the size of a small church community, being one of the 7 churches of St. Thomas's Crooks. If you look at the map behind us, these are some of the countries that our members came from, and if you can count the dots, there are 27 altogether. So Mick, I hope you enjoy this as a memory.
And I still remember the chocolate tasting and the olive oil tasting that Tricia did for us for our Go Global Daytime Group outreach events. They were great fun and very well attended, and we really appreciated your time and the thought and effort that you put into these events. And we want to end with something that you may not know, Mick. There are 2 children growing up on the other side of the world, named after your New Year sermon in 2017. There's a little girl called Shino, looking forward with hope, and a baby boy born last year, Aki, looking around with joy. And that's probably just a very small fragment of the scale of the seeds sown and scattered by your ministry across the globe. And although we will probably never hear all the stories, God knows that and honors you for your faithfulness and your commitment to the church and to the work of the church and the mission of the church, and we want to thank you for that.
Have a happy retirement.
Hello, Mick and Tricia. Hello. We just want to share a few little memories with you now. Go.
So I just want to say thank you so much for when you came to Cambridge. Hannah was really little, and you took us to John Lewis. We were having lunch or something, and at that point you said, at some point I'm going to retire, and I'd love to invite you guys to come back to Sheffield. I just want to say thank you for that. Yeah, it really blessed us, and we've obviously loved being here and still do, so thank you.
Thank you, St. Tricia, for doing all the things that you have done for us as a church.
And you also said you had some lovely cakes at Mick and Tricia's house, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to say thank you for, Theo?
Thank you for going to church.
Thank you for going to church. Mick and Tricia, thank you. Back in 2007, for asking me to be your curate. And the rest, as I say, is history. But thank you so much for all the love you've given to our family. Thank you so much, Mick and Tricia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mick and Tricia.
Thank you, Mick and Tricia. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.